There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals are killing me and never let me stealing me, I feel your divinity in my vicinity whenever I am depressed or under duress. And I know my abilities you've been giving me. Lyrically, spiritually, I am blessed. And I know my abilities you've been giving me. Now, Bill Gates is not the only Bill that I've been observing, and not the only Bill that I find kind of disturbing. Let's go back to the year 1986 and meet the 99th Congress. What a bunch of dicks. They came up with H.R. 4456, the Child Vaccination Act. And here's a wild, fascinating fact. If your company that you own and they supply the vaccine and somebody died, nobody gets tried in a court of law at all. Problem solved. No retribution, no legal solution. You all scot-free. Watch me. Hop on a plane with Mr. Epstein. Now boarding the Lolita Express. Whoa, look over there, man. Is that Eminem and Stephen Colbert? And look, it's the two Bills, Clinton and Gates. Oh man, and they look like they're hitting on that girl that we met on the plane, the one that was with Ghislaine. I think her name was Courtney. Shit, she's only 14. We need to get the fuck up out of here. I got nothing left to confess. There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me and never let you stealing me, I feel your divinity in my vicinity whenever I am depressed or under duress. And I know my abilities you've been giving me. Lyrically, spiritually, I am blessed. I'm blessed. Now, let's say that you got a foundation, and almost all your donations, they're directed toward the containment of a particular contagion. And one of your experts is kind of grouchy. His name is Mr. Fauci. He comes up with an equation. Fear plus persuasion equals the creation of a frightened nation whose panic and lack of education and only wanting just some protection from this agent of infection, they head in your direction and they ask Mr. Bill for their injection. Wanting just protection from this agent of infection. Why don't you go get your shine box? Your direction. Go get your fucking shine box, Tony. Injection. I got nothing left to confess. There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me and never left you stealing me, I feel your divinity in my vicinity whenever I am depressed or under duress. And I know my abilities you've been giving me. Lyrically, spiritually, I am blessed. I'm blessed. Dear Bill, I wrote you, but I keep getting returned to sender. I've even tried your wife Melinda, but she's putting a block on my calls. There's the rumor she might have a cock and balls. I apologize for the cursing. I guess you two are never in the same room at the same time, so people think you might be the same person. But anyway, fuck it, man. What's been up? How's the vaccine biz? I know you wish that everybody was on board like Maxine is. Oh, guess what? My wife's pregnant again. You remember Myrtle? Yeah, I always seem to wind up with the skanks. And what's up with you having 3 kids? I thought Melinda was infertile and you were shooting blanks. And what's up with all these tanks? I see them being transported on a train. Is that for martial law? This shit's getting insane. You remember when I met you in New Delhi and you were complaining that it was really smelly? Well, I asked you if it was safe getting that polio vaccine and you said I was making a great decision. Yeah, well, my daughter's okay, but my son Micah, he lost his vision. Yeah, it's been some time and a lot of tears now. And Micah, he's been blind for years now. He's gotten pretty good at walking with a cane, though. Anyway, hit me up, yo. I got nothing left to confess. There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me and never left you stealing me, I feel your divinity
Good evening. Welcome to Friday. How y'all doing? I'm a little late today, like about a minute, I guess. I got involved in watching a YouTube video on converting gold jewelry to gold, which was kind of fun. All right, what's up, Gerald B? How you doing? You must have been the third one here because it already had 2 likes. Well, I appreciate those people who liked the video before it even plays. I was watching a Johnny B video today, and he was talking about how he censors himself now because of YouTube algorithms, and how he's not going to take advice. He's not going to stop censoring himself because he's not going to listen to people he doesn't know on the internet, strangers. I think he says strangers on the internet, right? And then immediately follows it up with saying, "Hey, like the video." So I left a little comment saying, "Well, I don't leave likes on videos of strangers." And I definitely explained in a very polite way why his strangers or YouTube subscribers don't like it when somebody self-censors. This is the guy that promotes the "shall not comply" merch, right? But then wears a mask on a plane and then censors himself all over YouTube, but shall not comply. And so I'm like, maybe if you want to have a spicy Friday, maybe you should have a "shall not comply unless I need to because of reasons" kind of thing, you know what I mean? What's up, Quasar? How you doing this evening? It's Friday. Welcome to Friday. Lunatic Rider. Wow. I think it's the first time I've seen you here. Welcome. Appreciate it. And I don't know if Streambot is working. Restreambot. Is it? Maybe it is. Yep, it is. Okay. Tonight, I'm watching D-Live's chat. And so, but yet, right here, right there is that chat on YouTube, right? So it's a little bit odd. I'm trying to get used to it, but I want to make sure I don't miss out on people that join us on D-Live as well. What's up, High Desert Pioneer? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to Friday. Thank you very much for stopping by. That's awesome, bro. So yeah, that was my little thing. I'm very interested in the whole changing golden jewelry over to golden bars. So I'm probably going to finish watching that video after I'm done here tonight, because my dealer, not my drug dealer, but my metals dealer, right? My local coin dealer, whatever you want to call him, he's got good prices, but sometimes he doesn't have gold coins. But he did have gold jewelry one time, and I didn't know enough about it. I'm sure I trust this guy enough to think that, he'd probably be fine, and I wouldn't have to worry about anything. But at the same time, I don't know if I'd want to have. He had one piece that was over $5,000, so it was like at least 2 ounces of gold. I'm like, man, I don't think I'd want to wear it. I mean, I might for a little bit, you know what I mean? But on a daily, probably not. Probably not. You should have internet on Wednesday. Right on, bro. Right on. How's everything in the Broken Patriot land? Good, I hope. That would be awesome. All right. So, it's been an interesting week. Most everything has to do with, the upcoming election and who's going to win, right? Any predictions? I know a lot of y'all, well, everybody's got a prediction, right? Did you get the stimulus check? Oh.
Well, he said he was going to get internet when he got a stimulus check. So I'm like, well, did you get a stimulus check?
Well, yeah. Please let us know if you did. If not, maybe he got his disability. Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, awesome. Man. Share the good news, bro. Share the good news. Same old, same old. All right. Well, let's get on into it. Unless y'all have anything else to talk about before we get into it, because. Oh, yeah, I did want to talk about one other thing. I've been researching getting into smelting for a while. I have not pulled the trigger. You can even build your own can. The one that I'm watching right now, they made out of a paint can and some fiberglass and a couple torches, right? Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I do smelt lead. I do melt down lead, but I have a Lee pot to do that with, right? And lead's a little bit easier to work with, right? But I mean, it's hot metal, and I have enough issues with that. I'm kind of worried about getting into, converting gold jewelry into gold. I definitely need to learn a lot more about it. I looked into how to make your own bullets with a Lee thing a lot before I jumped into that one. And I still accidentally get lead on myself once in a while. Wife needs it for school, so she finally caved. Well, that sounds familiar, Broken Patriot. That sounds familiar. HDP. My prediction is for pain. That's a good prediction. Yeah, either way, it's going downhill. But I mean, every once in a while, we like to dabble in left versus right paradigm, right? Yeah, plaster of Paris and play sand. Yeah, you can make your own smelting kiln. Yeah, Irish USMC vet was wanting to do that, and then we were going to make our own silver coins, or silver rounds, I guess, technically, because it wouldn't be a coin. I thought that would be really cool, and I'm hoping that we do that. And if he doesn't do it, maybe I'll look into it as well, because I think that would be really cool. I mean, that's the cool kind of merch, right? Everybody has t-shirts you can buy. Shit, I even had t-shirts you could buy back in the day that said poisonstinger.com on it, right? But having silver rounds, channel rounds, like thank you for your support, Poison Stinger, or having my face going like that on it, right? That would be great. Because then not only are you supporting the channel, but you have something of value. Yes, you probably overpaid for it because it's going to take some work. It's going to take some investment on my part. So there will be a premium on that kind of stuff. But I just think it's a really cool idea of a way to give out merch that not only shows that you support the channel, but also is what is valuable. Now, if there's a way to get something that you could then wear to support the channel, maybe a big old medallion, right? Maybe, I don't know. Let's see. Might be an understatement, HDP. Oh, with the pain? Yeah. Broken Patriot, win for me, except she has to be on camera, so she will be using my PC. Uh-oh. That's going to cut into your video time, isn't it? Stinger, did you ever check out that Andrew Moore's stuff yet? Andrew Moore's. Apparently, I have not. I got a bunch of copper and brass I want to smelt. Let's not put it in your face on it. What? What? You wouldn't want a piece of silver with me going, no? Man. I'm getting, narrower. I'm gonna have a little bit of this going on, but see, I want to do stickers. Yeah, stickers would be kind of cool. I think Patriot in the Dark does stickers. That's a good channel, by the way. If you don't know who Patriot in the Dark is, you should check him out. He's a gun enthusiast and a patriot who is now blind, but still shoots, and just that by itself is enough to be, I've got to see more. He's a really good guy, too. Better yet, where's my comment? I don't know where your comment is, other than the one I'm reading right now. Stinger coins? Yeah, Riddle's face? Maybe. Ooh, maybe the obverse and then the reverse. You know what I mean? Yep. I don't know. I have 101 different ideas when it comes to that kind of stuff. I did want to ask if you guys watched the whole Plandemic documentary. If you did, I also want to apologize for all the spam you're getting in your email from that company. I do like that Plandemic documentary. I think it's very good to watch. It's a documentary, so it's not 100% accurate, but it's got accuracy in it, just like anyone would. But I have went ahead and unsubscribed to their email listing because it was like 4 emails in one day. It might have been more. I lost count, to be honest. Lost count. All right. Let's do it. First and foremost, we're going to watch a little bit of Tucker, but not all of it. See, I skipped ahead. We're only got 3 minutes worth. But we're going to be talking about the DNC quite a bit today and what's going on in the news with the election coming up. and other things are revolving stuff around that.
The other day in Manhattan, a retired NYPD sergeant was viciously beaten and robbed on camera. We showed you beatings in Portland. Cities across the country are falling apart in real time. Take a look at the DNC's after party this week. Watch.
So after the DNC was done, this is what they did, I guess. I don't know. It's a Chicago, though, so it's not a big surprise. Lighthouse 1600 just followed. Hey, man, thanks for following, bro.
Stuff I've ever seen right now.
Those are real people. Their lives matter, no matter what they look like, no matter who they voted for, no matter what they believe. They're Americans, their lives matter. And they're being hurt, in some cases killed, but they weren't mentioned. They haven't been mentioned all week at the Democratic National Convention. Why is that? Because the policies they're pushing are implicated in the violence you're watching. Nor have they mentioned what's happening in California right now, our biggest state, Kamala Harris's home state. They're rolling blackouts. We need a Green New Deal, the Democrats tell you. Okay, what will that look like? Well, there is one state in the union that is closer to a Green New Deal than any other. It's California. And thanks to its green energy policy, California is now suffering historic power outages in the middle of a heat wave. By the way, that can kill people. For another thing, it's not a first world situation. We're supposed to have electricity. And when our biggest state doesn't, it tells you there's been massive and profound, possibly criminal
If you've
mismanagement.
ever looked into the Green New
Who did
Deal,
that and why? Shouldn't we be interested in finding out?
people
No
wouldn't
mention
like
of
it
last
very
night.
much.
Well, we've been without power 60 plus hours since Friday night.
Inside Carl Whitley's home, at least half a dozen medical devices that need power. All of them help to keep his son alive. During other power outages, he would get advance notice from PG&E, but not this weekend.
This particular outage, we got no heads up, we got no information.
Thousands of residents in San Jose.
That guy, and I know you're all screaming it. By the way, thanks Lighthouse for the thumbs up in the follow on D Live. That's awesome. You following me on D Live does not show up on YouTube, so I'm glad I got the D Live thing up. I need to get a notification. I'm gonna be working on moving this over to what is that?
Streamlabs?
Streamlabs. There you go. Thank you, Riddle Girl. Streamlabs. Unfortunately, though, I don't know if I can do restream and stream to both platforms using Streamlabs. I'm going to look into that. Just stopping by to see what's going on. Hey, man, we just talking about the daily news. This guy, though, right here that we were just watching that ran out of power and has medications that need to be refrigerated, you should have a generator, sir. And that's what I was going to get to with people saying, y'all should be like, get a generator. Have some sort of level of preparedness. I've been in that situation. I've had meds that have to be refrigerated. If you have that kind of stuff and it's life-saving medications, make sure nobody's going to take care of you but you. Make sure you got your shit in order.
Power. All of them help to keep his son alive. During other power outages, he would get advance notice from PG&E, but not this weekend.
This particular outage, we got no heads up, we got no information.
Thousands of residents in San Jose lost power over the weekend as early as Friday night. This map shows that thousands more are still affected.
Look, most voters in California are Democrats. This is not in any sense a partisan point. California will vote for Kamala Harris in November. There's no question about that. It's a question of helping actual people, not just repeating mindless platitudes, telling us the same two stories about police brutality. Nobody defends police brutality. Nobody's in favor of it. But if you keep talking about the same two stories, it gives us the sense that you're intentionally ignoring what's actually happening, which is the consistent lowering of the standard of living for actual Americans, millions of them. So you shouldn't be surprised if you continue to ignore things people actually care about, that people may not be that excited about your candidacy, despite how they feel about the guy you're running against. And in the case of Kamala Harris, that meant they had to make people up. Take a look at this. This is the banner behind Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I love this. Watch this.
They had
It's
to
hilarious.
duplicate some of her fans after the address. It was hard to find a room full of people actually clapping, so they just invented some people out of thin air. If it's good enough for Major League Baseball, it's good enough for the DNC.
There you go.
Take a look.
All right, so that's pretty much it on that. Let me get caught up on chat here. When we were living off grid, we had the generator and a few coolers so we could make sure we could keep things cool. Yeah. Quasar, implementation of Agenda 21 2030. Not sure why people refuse to see the writing on the wall. People don't want to be awake. They know. There's a lot of people that know shit is going wrong, but they won't do anything because it scares them to acknowledge it. So they don't acknowledge it, and they pretend it does not exist, and they put their head back into the sand on purpose so that they don't have to deal with that situation. That's exactly what's going on with that. Everyone has been electronically and digitally lobotomized. Yeah. I mean, yeah, well, I mean, with the devices in front of our hands, all are in front of our faces all the time, that definitely doesn't help. And I'm as guilty of that as probably anybody else. Smoke bad here in the valley in California. Ooh. A lot of fires. I know in Arizona we always got a lot of fires, although I haven't checked the news lately on that. Let's see. Pretty much Quasar. And then Lighthouse. Fear is more contagious than the virus. Yep. And it's more easier it's easier to fool someone than it is to convince them that they have been fooled. Just look at the whole pandemic, right? You can bring out evidence and scientific data. I can show you with different masks. I got a video on YouTube. I got a video on BitChute of different masks and vaping. And vaping is a lot more dense than your breath. And I can go on and on and on about all that. But nobody wants to hear that because that doesn't make them feel good. Because, Brondo, it has what plants crave. Or whatever that was. 365 fires last you heard. Holy crap. Damn. That's a lot. Biden campaign is condemning Linda Sarsour, I guess, after she speaks at the DNC. Linda Sarsour, a socialist Muslim who supports a boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement against Israel, spoke at the DNC, but the Democrat presidential nominee's campaign said she has no role in the Biden campaign whatsoever. Joe Biden has been a strong supporter of Israel and a vehement opponent of anti-Semitism for his entire life. He obviously condemns her views and opposes BDS, as does the Democratic platform. Biden's campaign spokesperson Andrew Bates said in a statement. Sarsour supports the BDS movement, qualifies her as an anti-Semite according to the State Department. Yet Sarsour serves as a campaign surrogate for the presidential campaign of Bernie Sanders, who is a Jewish atheist. I did not know he was Jewish. I think I remember that I knew that he was an atheist, but a Jewish atheist, that's, I guess Jewish is his race then, not his religion. At the convention, she spoke on a panel for the Muslim Delegates and Allies Assembly. Sarsour has made similar comments to Biden in regard to the identity of people and the things that they believe. I really like this one right here. In regard to women who do not share her radical Islamic beliefs, she said, "I wish I could take their vaginas away. They don't deserve to be women." Which echoes Biden's statement, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, you ain't black. Oh my goodness. All right, let me get on this. Fear is more cage. Okay, agreed. Hey, okay. Cool, then you're probably at the right place, man. Welcome to the stream. We do this every weekday night. Let's see. We've had ashes falling for the last 3 days. Wow. Ashes, huh? Like nuclear winter kind of shit. Or volcanic winter, I guess. HDP, Jew is not a race or ethnicity. Okay. You want to educate me a little bit on that then, HDP? Because I'm pretty sure Judaism is a religion, right? But Jews technically are a race, as far as I was concerned. But I mean, if you got something to go against that, that'd be great. Sarsour, who co-founded the Radical Socialist Women's March organization, has ties to Louis Farrakhan, the Nation of Islam leader. She has said that the Women's March supports Jewish and LGBTQ people, but up here, not so much. A Democratic Party official says the DNC events and speakers are organized without input from Biden's campaign. It's hilarious. Let's see. Smearing her and other American Muslims as anti-Semitic for supporting Palestinian human rights is predictable, despite despicable and unacceptable. Our political leaders must stop doing it, Carr said in a statement. So there's one all-star of the DNC, huh? We're going to get to another one here real quick. Let's see. Wow, sounds worse than Trump saying grab them by the kitty. You don't have to censor yourself here, man. I said it. Whatever.
I think YouTube wasn't posting as comments.
Really?
It doesn't like that word pussy.
Huh. Pussy, 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 pussy.
It also doesn't like the word invaders or Joe Biden if it's with
right.
other words that it doesn't like.
It is worse than IMHO.
In my humble opinion.
In my humble opinion, sorry. Hebrew is an ethnicity. Okay. We got Jew here. We got a Jew here. I don't know. I ain't Jew bashing. And no, I don't know if HDP is or not. I don't think. Dude, I do not assume what you are, and I do not care, right? I have no problem with the Jewish people. Let me lay that out on the line right now. Because I've had issues with one Jew in particular on a different chat, not here. But there was a guy in Hawaii who is a Zionist. And I am against Zionists, right? From what I understand of what Zionists are. Think that they're the supreme master race and they get to go to heaven no matter what. And, you know, we're lucky if we get to tag along. And they don't even have to follow their religion because they're God's chosen people. Kind of. I do not agree with that. That's Jewish supremacy, in my opinion, right? But I'm not going to go Jew bashing either because everybody's the same, right? Just because you're born wherever you're born doesn't mean you're any better than me or any worse than me. Just because you believe in a religion that I don't believe in does not make you any better than me or any worse than me. So I have no problem with the Jewish people. Their Jewish politics, I might have issues with some of those things. But I have issues with American politics as well. So let's not get on the whole Jewish thing. I won't have that. Let's see. Yeah, YouTube censored you? All right. Well, I'll say it for you. Pussy. D-La, let's see. You got to get creative. Use numbers, symbols, spaces. Yeah. Pretty much, man. They literally just deleted a comment live. Yeah, I guess. And I have like all comments, you know, do them all. So I don't know. I don't have any filters on my comments. Anyway, let's get on to another DNC hero and all-star. Donna Hilton speaks at the DNC as an impactful community leader, convicted rapist, torturer, and murderer who squeezed her victim's testicles with pliers. Well, doesn't she just sound like the peach that she is? The Democratic National Convention has Donna Hilton on the speaker's list. She is a convicted rapist, torturer, murderer who has introduced to the supporters of the DNC as an impactful community leader. She spent decades in prison for kidnapping, raping, and torturing a 62-year-old man before murdering him. This all known to the public when the DNC released a pre-recorded video of America's most impactful community leaders. This segment includes Democratic politicians, party activists, and a 55-year-old Donna Hilton, a Jamaican woman who has a criminal history in 1985 of a real estate broker. According to the website DonnaHilton.com, currently she is a women's rights activist, criminal justice reform advocate, and the description further reads, Donna speaks publicly about the issues facing, incarcerated women and girls and the significant increase in the female prison population is having on families, children, and our communities. All right. Donna's own life took an unexpected and life-changing turn when, as a child, she was lured from Jamaica to the United States. Her memoir, A Little Piece of Light, tells the story of the childhood abuse she endured, the spiral of events that led to her incarceration and how she learned to live, love, and trust all over again. The reporters covered that President Trump refused to disavow QAnon? I don't know. An online conspiracy group which suggests the Democratic Party shields rapists and pedophiles for political purposes. Oh my goodness. That's a conspiracy theory now? I think the big conspiracy theory is thinking only one side is doing it. Right? Oh, it's just the Democrats that are shielding the rapists and the petties. No, that's both sides. We just, a lot of people like to play the two-party system game and they get hung up on my team versus your team and they don't realize your own team's doing shit like that too. This makes a choice to include Hilton alongside Joe Biden ill-timed and highlights the recent pattern of Democratic groups brushing off rape allegations and even convictions. For the crimes Donna Hilton committed, she served 26 years in prison. After completion of that, she eventually started working as a Democratic activist with joining to the Coalition for Women Prisoners. Then she began advocating convicted prisoners, specifically women and minorities, to help them for early release. All right, well, maybe she turned over a new leaf. The article doesn't talk about that. The story that I, found this story out about didn't reference that either, right? Apparently she had done some other shit that this story is not talking about. And I'm not going to talk about just because I don't remember exactly what it was and I don't have that story pulled up. So, but at the same time, I'm all for people who turn their life around in prison. I think there is a redemption. I think you can be redeemed for sure. For sure. All right, let's see. I wrote, they can test your blood and see. Jew. Biden works there. Broken Patriot is, wow, a damn squeeze balls. That's definitely not a good feeling. No, man. I mean, I hope she's a better person now. You know what I mean? I do. Exactly. Yep. All right. Okay, good. All right. Now, let's get on to different stories. That's all the DNC stuff I got for you tonight.
All the ball squeezing stuff you got?
All the ball squeezing, yep. You can descend your testicles now. I know they all went, but you can let them relax. Anyway, Biden supporter steals a 7-year-old boy's MAGA hat and then attacks his mother. You guys hear about this? This has been on a few channels today. I've seen it on a few of them. We're going to talk about it as well. Thursday, in Wilmington, Delaware, Abby Wigton and her son, Riley, were waiting outside a restaurant when two women, Biden supporters, came up to them and took a MAGA hat Riley was wearing off his head and began to cuss the mother and son out for supporting Trump. How nice. These are lovely people. Abby Wigton chased the two women down the street to reclaim the hat, with Riley following behind her. One of the women started attacking Wigton and punched her while continuing to cuss her out. The Joe Biden supporter laid hands on my child and ripped his Make America Great Again hat from his head while cursing at him and pushing him over, said Wigton. Lovely people. I mean, social justice. Absolute social justice. They're attacking Nazis. So obviously, it's totally acceptable. The two Joe Biden supporters verbally and physically assaulted my 7-year-old child, and he was sobbing and screaming. Lovely. 4chan got the two women's names. Oh, the two women in this article? Yeah, maybe. Last night, Joe Biden supporters viciously attacked 7-year-old. This is, I don't know if this is the video or if the video is further down. Let's watch this real quick. Yeah.
You get off my property? Get off my property? Are you destroying my property?
Yes, we are.
You know that's a felony?
That one too.
What's really great is they're not even wearing their mask properly. I don't know about you, but that's the first thing I noticed. Your mask is under your nose.
Don't get
Get away from
Back the out. Get it, Liam. Get it.
touch my hat.
Take your hat.
That's somebody else's hat.
Get your hat back, baby.
Don't
Look at what you
force
just
your
did to my
kid.
son. Get your hat back, baby. Get your hat back.
Okay, that's bullshit. That mother is telling the kid to go get his hat back. He's 7 years old. You want him to go fight a fully grown female? I mean, I know she's a female, but she's fully grown. And she's obviously cuckoo. Do it yourself. Why aren't you going to grab the hat back?
Baby.
We don't give a Mom likes Trump.
Give me back my hat. 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 Give me back my hat.
I'm telling you right now.
You're gonna steal my property?
Yep.
I'll follow you to your car and get your license plate.
And I'm walking. I live in town. 911.
You want me to call 911?
How your baby sounds.
You want me to call 911? Taylor, these people right here are taking your hat. They attacked my son. I have it on video. I have it on video.
Somebody touched your kid. Back up.
I have it on video. I have it on video.
Right
I have it on video.
I'm telling you to back the
Yeah, you want to try me? You want to try me? You want to try me? I got the whole thing on video. I got the whole thing on video. Don't attack. Oh, you gonna punch him?
Oh,
You gonna punch
damn.
him? Oh, yeah, you gonna punch? Oh, you gonna sucker punch me? You gonna sucker punch me? Take my hat. Take my hat, baby.
Take
You
my
wanna sucker
bag.
punch me?
Nobody punch
Yeah, I saw you punch me. I saw you trying to punch me.
I do hope she gets charged for assault, obviously.
Take you with your Go ahead, I wish you would. We will knock you out. We will knock you
That's why when you went to hit me, you did it, right? That's why when you went to hit me.
So what's up?
I'm not trying to hit you. I'm not trying to
Jerry,
hit you. You're coming
Jerry,
after me.
Jerry.
I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. She came after my son. I have it on video. She came after my son. Yeah? You think I'm afraid of you? You think I'm afraid of you?
Damn. Yeah, that's straight up assault, right? All right, makes such a joke, such sheeple. Hold on, I'm not reading it correctly. Never knew Democrats were so friendly. I'm sure CNN would say this little boy cursed at them first. Well, he's obviously a Nazi. I mean, you can't see that? Right, makes this such a joke, such sheeple mask. My mom is a coward. Yeah, I think you shouldn't force your kid to go after the hat. I mean, that's kind of weird. I do not agree with that part of the parenting, but I don't know. It's a whole bunch of bullshit. She should have raged. Well, at the end there, it looks like she started to, right? And then that lady came back and started hitting her in the face. HDP, a lot of mental distress going on there. I'm telling you, man, there is a disease going around. And I mean, there's that whole, Mark Dice liberalism find a cure, but I think it's more than that. It's not just liberals. There's a lot of people on our side too, or the conservative side, that's just as much brainwashed as that as well, just different. Broken Patriot, any woman that punches a man deserves to be punched. Oh, I don't know, man. You're getting in some dicey territory saying this stuff like that. Hold on, I want to get your name right. Lunatic Writer. Yeah, Lunatic Writer, right?
Yep.
Oh, looks like Restream Bot took another dump.
Yep. Damn. It stopped working quite a while ago.
I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Let me see if I can bring that up. I mean, yeah, it's 1 of 2. Why? Why can't I be connected? I don't know. I'm just going to have to keep it open, I guess. Anyway, let me get you up. Anyone? Okay. That's when you hop in the car and do some GTA. Equal rights. Yeah, I know equal rights, man. Women, they know they can get away with a lot of shit, so they do it on purpose. And then if you hit them, you're the bad guy, right? So I wouldn't. There's only been one time that I ever struck at a woman, and that's when she kneed me in the balls. And that was back when I was in middle school. I mean, so it was a while ago, right? They stole my son's hat, threw it over the fence with a dirt-filled construction site where we could not retrieve it. Both Joe Biden supporters attacked me, Wigington continued. They attacked my child. I am a mother who simply wants to protect my child from those who harm him. Now, there is some good news to this. Riley was supporting his president when vicious Joe Biden voters attacked him, stole his MAGA hat, and pushed him. Riley was scared and cried in the street. That's where I met him. I'm guessing this is, Benny. He wanted to call He wanted to call 911. Moments ago, Riley got a call from the White House. That's cool. Right? That's something I can support with Trump. He gave the kid a call. Donald Trump Jr. responded to the attack on Twitter, saying that Riley would receive a new Trump hat, and he received a phone call from the White House as well. Does this country have a problem with political violence? It is mainly on the left. Comment your thoughts below. It is kind of mainly on the left. You don't see Trump supporters. Let's get into the right versus left paradigm a little bit. You do not see Trump supporters, at least I have not. Please share with me if you have. I have not seen Trump supporters going after Biden or Biden supporters or after peaceful protesters. You know what I mean? I have seen some people going after non-peaceful protesters, and I applaud that. Let's see. Some bear spray. Yeah, wasp spray works too. Yep, and it's cheaper. That's right. It's like if you want to get the premium pepper spray, go after the wasp spray. That stuff is better than most pepper sprays that you can get. And yeah, to anybody on D Live, I am watching the D Live chat, and Riddle Girl hopefully will let me know if I don't see it, because it's right here as well. All right. Rules for me, or rules for you and not for me. This is where that comes in, right? Citing threats, Mayor Lori Lightfoot defends ban on protest on her block, saying, quote, I have a right to make sure that my house is secure. The governor of Chicago has the right to make sure that her home is secure. So there will be no protesting on her street, peaceful or otherwise. There's her personal protection equipment. I wish I could afford that. Mayor Lightfoot defended the Chicago Police Department ban on protesters being able to demonstrate on the block where she lives, telling reporters Thursday that she and her family at times require heightened security because of threats she receives daily. Lightfoot refused to elaborate on the specific threats, but said she receives them daily against herself and her wife, which, I didn't know that before, but it explains a lot. Comparisons to how police department has protected previous mayors' homes, such as Rahm Emanuel Ravenswood residents, are unfair because this is a difficult time like no other. So even Rahm Emanuel didn't have this kind of protection, I guess, huh? I'm not really big into Chicago politics because I have a hard enough time with national politics, with the corruption that goes on there. And like Chicago is the capital of corrupt, politics. It has been for hundreds of years. I think that the residents of this city, understanding the nature of the threats that we are receiving on a daily basis, understand I have a right to make sure that my home is secure, Lightfoot said. Lightfoot and Chicago Police Superintendent Dave Brown were asked at an unrelated news conference about a Tribune report. This is from the Chicago Tribune, okay? By the way, if you look up here, Chicago Tribune. This is not a right-leaning newspaper. And they are attacking her wholeheartedly. Anyway, they talked to her about this and about the Tribune reporting noting the police have banned protesters from demonstrating on her block on Logan Square neighborhood, ordering officers to arrest anyone who refuses to leave. The directive surfaced in a July email from the Shakespeare District Commodore Melvin Roman to officers under his command. I did not distinguish between the peaceful protesters. It did not distinguish between the peaceful protesters Lightfoot regularly says she supports and those who might intend to be destructive, but ordered that after a warning is given to demonstrators, it should be locked down. Activists and police sources could not cite instances when the city repeatedly locked down her predecessor's Emmanuel's block against protesters. The Kenwood block where former President Obama lived with his family when his primary residence was in Chicago was shut down for access only by residents after his election. But Lightfoot said such compromises don't make any sense after Brown referenced the ongoing Rona pandemic as well as the civil unrest that had flared since Floyd killing at the hands of Minneapolis police. I'm not going to make any excuses for the fact that given the threats I have personally received, given the threats to my home and my family, I'm going to do what I can to make sure they're protected, Lightfoot said. I make no apologies for that whatsoever. That's a great quote for anybody who supports the Second Amendment. Right? I'm going to do everything I can do to make sure they're protected, and I make no apologies whatsoever for it. Put that on a t-shirt and sell it. All right. Let's see. I bought some spray lube from the Dollar Tree. That shit would spray 10 feet without the straw in it. Holy crap.
And this girl B said you could use a lighter in WD-40.
Yeah. Oh, I know all about the flammable stuff. That's always fun. Just burned Chicago down already. Too bad it can't fall in the ocean, right? HDP again. Yeah, I know, right? Spray, what was the song? Oh my goodness. I remember that song where the cow kicked the lantern.
Last night when we were all in
There you
bed,
go.
Mrs. O'Leary
Thank
put
you,
a
little girl.
lantern in the shed, and when the cow kicked it over, she winked her eye and said, it'll be a hot time and shout time tonight.
There you go. Okay. Spray lube. I'll have to check that one out. Never at the Dollar Tree. Yeah. Dollar Tree's the place to be, man. Sometimes you can get some good stuff there. Sometimes. I mean, a lot of it's worth $1, right? You can buy one really good can opener over at Bed Bath & Beyond for $10 that'll last you for years and years and years. Or you can buy 10 $1 can openers and be, have like maybe a year's worth of can opener supply. Let's see. HDP, we need to fence it in first. Make Chicago a parking lot again. And Escape from Chicago, the movie. That was a good movie. The whole history of that city is full of crime, murder, and corruption. Ain't that the truth? That's where we first had, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but like the first, gun-free zones back in the 1800s. Could be wrong. I know Wyatt Earp had gun-free zones too. Everybody thinks Wyatt Earp was this great, law enforcement dude. Dude did not like guns in his town. So
Also where Oprah's from, where Obama's from.
Right. Well, the last 3 governors are like in jail, right? Except for Rahm Emanuel. I think he's not in jail just yet. Yeah. All right. So there you go. And this one, I think we all need to buy this shirt. Amazon censors anti-Camilla items and allows fuck Trump apparel. Joe and the Ho censored vulgar political speech this week by removing shirts that refer to Democratic vice presidential nominee Kamala Harris as a hoe. The sellers named the Oxygen Bandit, which you can go to their website if you want to buy this shirt because they're still selling it there, promoted shirts that said Joe the Ho, which sold for $24.99 or to $42.99 depending on the style. All sellers must follow selling guidelines, and those who do not will be subject to action, including potential removal of their account, an Amazon spokesman said, according to USA Today. We are working to remove these products, the spokesman said. From a brief search that Amazon allows users to sell on its platform, it is clear that the company is blatantly discriminating against Republican political candidates and protecting Democratic political candidates. On the first page of the results after searching anti-Trump clothing, there are shirts that say F Trump, compare Trump to a sexually transmitted disease, call Trump a turd, slanderously call Trump a racist, slanderously call him a Vladimir Putin's puppet, calls him a lunatic, okay, with a reference to other parasites. One shirt goes as far as to say F Trump, if you like Trump, F you too. Now, for now, Amazon is allowing a shirt that says Camilla smelled the best, which I think is hilarious because, he had to sniff him out.
Yep.
Right? That's amazing. But they are allowing that shirt, right? In a reference to Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden's strange habit of smelling women, the shirt that called Harris a hoe stem from her extramarital relationship with Willie Brown, a former San Francisco mayor who is 30 years her senior. And once again, if you want to buy that shirt, you can go to theoxygenbandit.com. And I can't put it, well, I can put it in link. Hold on. I did also have the other chat up as well, just in case.
Good luck, lunatic writer. Sorry about your newborn.
Oh, what happened?
Newborn's awake, I guess. Gotta go.
Oh man, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that's been a few years since I had to deal with that. Man, that's a long freaking link. I can't even share that link because when I copied it, it's not just the oxygenbandit.com. They take me to a Facebook page. So the oxygenbandit.com, that's where you want to go. All right, let's see. Later, newborn to tend to. Yeah, gotcha. 407 for rent. Hey, what's up? Camilla sucked her way to the top. Yeah. There was that meme with Joe Biden looking at her. Anyway, I think that's a great shirt. Postmaster General says the UPS or USPS is ready for election. Calls Dems conspiracy theories outrageous. Really? I mean, come on. We all know the USPS has been in decline for years. You can't even get your stuff mailed to you from Amazon that well right now without a big delay. And apparently the post office pays Amazon to ship through the post office. What the hell is up with that? Not only that, but I believe Amazon also gets government like kickbacks every time they use the post. I mean, they're getting money left and right. No wonder Amazon became like the biggest company in U.S. history in, 10 years? Anybody remember Amazon back in 2000? No, it didn't exist. Neither did Google, right? Well, it might have, but I didn't hear about it. Louis DeJoy, who now finds himself at the center of the media's mob's latest manic episode, testified for the Senate Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee on Friday. In response to Democratic questioning, DeJoy said the conspiracy theory that he is engaged with President Trump in efforts to undermine the 2020 election is outrageous. DeJoy responded to concerns about election mail, the removal of blue post boxes, and the decades-long financial mismanagement at the post office. As we head into the election season, I want to ensure this committee and the American public that the Postal Service is fully capable and committed to deliver the nation's election mail securely and on time, DeJoy said in his opening statement. Bull crap. Then get me my package in, the same amount of time you did before the Rona. Then I might believe it. This scared duty is the sacred duty. He said sacred duty. Is my number one priority between now and Election Day, and yes, I'm 5. Committee Chairman Ron Johnson, Wisconsin, began his opening statement by dismissing a few of the media's hysterical myths, which have been consistent in their past hoaxes, including the idea that DeJoy is a Trump lackey. One fact that needs to be highlighted to refute one part of this false narrative is that the Postmaster General was not appointed by President Trump, Johnson said. The bipartisan Postal Board of Governors engaged a professional search for him. So he wasn't even appointed by Trump. Johnson said that they found DeJoy to be an outstanding candidate, so both Republican and Democratic members unanimously approved his appointment. The other major lie is that Trump and DeJoy are cutting funding for the Postal Service so that it cannot operate effectively during the 2020 election. The Postal Service currently has a $15.1 billion in cash on hand following a better than expected financial performance during the pandemic. Well, I guess a lot of people staying home getting their mail stuff. That's why it's taking so damn long, I would imagine. Johnson said due to a surge in package delivery rather being down, the Postal Service revenue is actually $1.5 billion higher this year. So there you go. Post office is looking better and better. All right. We need to end the post office. Yeah. I don't know. I don't mind the post office, but I don't really like getting junk mail all the time. That's pretty much all they give me. Right?
Bills.
Bills and junk mail. And if I get something from Amazon, I guess, right? But most of the time, if I get anything other than on Amazon, it comes through UPS or FedEx, but rarely FedEx. I don't know why. It's 2020, totally outdated. Yeah. Well, first of all, there was a law, and I don't know the law, but I will, tell you what my interpretation of it was there was supposedly a law that said you could not compete with the post office, right? That you could not do that. And then somehow, some way, some people with power, some lobbyists, I don't know, decided, hey, we're going to try it. And they're like, oh, all right, okay, go ahead. You're not delivering the junk mail, so I guess we'll be all right with it. And therefore, FedEx and DHS and all these other companies were formed, and now nobody uses the post office. If DHS, FedEx, and all these other companies weren't there, the post office would probably be doing great, probably doing real good. But because they allowed competition to creep in, they have become dinosaurs. The same thing has happened with taxi drivers. I can speak on this one because I was a taxi driver, right? Back in the day, you couldn't drive anybody unless you had a taxi driver's license. Not me personally, but the company I worked for, right? So the taxi company would have to go through all these legal hoops, get all these, registrations and permits and all that stuff in order to be a taxi service. You had to go through all these hoops and have all these stuff, right? But then somehow Uber decided, no, we're gonna find that loophole. And maybe it was a loophole, or maybe they just were really rich and powerful and figured something out. But the taxi companies, I don't think they were okay with it, but it happened. And now look at the taxi companies becoming dinosaurs, right?
Well, they did it as ride sharing,
Yeah, I know it's supposedly ride sharing, but it's total bullshit, right? You can't it's still technically a cab service, to be honest. The only difference is they don't pay their employees any benefits. However, the taxi company that I was in a small town, so it was different than one here in a big city. I don't know how they do it in the big city. I know in the big city, you rent your cab out for like 12 hours a day, and then you pay a certain amount to rent the car, and you have to pay for your own gas, and then whatever you keep is what you keep, right? That's how that works. But I don't know if you get benefits from the company or not. Like UPS and FedEx have a certified meter in the cabs. Yeah. FedEx and UPS are way cheaper. The U.S. based on the free market society competition leads to lower prices and better service. I agree. I believe in capitalism, right? I do. But I don't like crony capitalism either. And I'm not saying that there shouldn't be competition with the USPS. I think there should. I totally think there should, right? I just think there was a law that said you couldn't, and now they said, okay. I also think the same thing with the taxi driving. I'm glad, maybe people can go out there and make a little extra money on the side without having to get, all the documentations and stuff like that. That's great. But at the same time, I don't know. It just creates new superpowers. Like, I'm okay with private companies wanting to restrict free speech in their private company, right? Because it's their private company. However, I'm against YouTube censorship because YouTube is not technically a private company. They are, kind of, but it's supposed to be a public square. That's why they get not a tax break. They get protection against lawsuits because they're not a publisher. They're a town square. However, they sure do like to indulge in the publishing a little bit and decide what will or will not be on their platform, right? And that's why I'm really rooting for this whole Google and Section 208 or Section 230? I forget.
Change that to live chat instead of talk chat.
It was on live chat earlier. All right. No cab drivers are independent. What's up, OMG? How you doing this evening? You own a taxi company? Right on. You hiring? No, I'm just kidding. All right. Pay it up. Pay up. BLM militants demand reparations from businesses. The saga of Tiana Arata, the woman arrested for organizing and being part and parcel of a violent protest that took place in July in San Luis Obispo, continues. Although the latest developments in matters revolving around Arata stems from her own mother, Michelle Arata, who is demanding reparations from local businesses who haven't supported Black Lives Matter. The businesses in questions were targeted specifically after Michelle Arata compiled a list, in her own words, of businesses that were slandering BLM by boarding up their shops because they didn't want to get looted. She's demanding reparations in the amount equivalent to the amount of money and time they spent boarding up their shops. You need to read this. This isn't about protesting, it's about extortion, pretty much. Basically, Michelle Arta thinks that business owners trying to protect their investments by boarding up their windows while miscreants run wild under the guise of a protest are perpetuating fear and hate, and thus their businesses need to pay up. The businesses were said to have either letters sent directly to them or people claiming ties to the BLM movement show up in person demanding money to be directed towards either BLM Foundation or to Race Matters SLO. Several local business owners told the news outlet Cal Coast News about the harassment they endured for not paying money to Black Lives Matter. According to the outlet, non-paying businesses endured the following. A handful of business owners many afraid to have their names disclosed because of fears of retaliation, said the message was followed by a phone call that included name calling, another request for money, and a personal visit. Peaceful protest, social justice, race equality. I mean, these are no different than the people who marched in Selma in the 1960s, which is now apparently a shithole. Did not know that until today. I think that was on Tucker. Maybe. I don't know. That was on something I watched. This is a story you might have seen today. Might have. If you're watching HDP, you definitely watched it, probably. All right. That's horrible. Fuck BLM. No lives matter. That's extortion. Well, I mean, I think all lives matter to me. But you get in trouble saying that too. Right? So yeah, the Georgia police is investigating a viral video showing an officer tasing a black woman. All right, I'm going to get to the video. Actually, I know I'm not because it's not here. Hold on. It was here before. All right, so there's a video going around. It says that this woman was arrested on her doorstep or on her porch for speaking too loudly, right? And it's this really young, I mean, like fresh out of the academy police officer trying to wrestle this woman to the ground, cannot do it, and has to tase her, right? And at first, it definitely looks uncalled for, right? And that's how HDP had reported on it, because he didn't have any extra news story. So this is the extra news story that a lot of people might not know. A Georgia police department is further investigating a now viral altercation in which a white officer tased a black woman. On Tuesday, Gwinnett County police officer responded to a complaint. By the way, that is a police department that's always in the news. They responded to a complaint of property damage. When he arrived on the scene, the woman who had called in the complaint told him that the pair of people had thrown a bottle at her car. She also told the officer that one of the people had threatened to assault her and her 9-year-old child, according to a statement about the arrest on the county's website. The woman directed the officer to the house where she believed the people who had thrown the bottle were staying. The officer approached the house and attempted to speak with the woman who was on the porch, identified by police as Kendisha Smith. Sorry about that. But Smith began yelling at him, according to the statement. He allegedly told Smith that she would be placed under arrest if she didn't let him do his job. The statement said that after several warnings, the officer informed Smith that she was under arrest. Smith, however, allegedly resisted being put in handcuffs, which she did, prompting the officer to warn her that she would be tased if she didn't cooperate. Smith continued to be uncooperative. the county said, leading the officer to tase her and place her in handcuffs. So there's the other side of that story. I don't know if it's actually how it happened, but I'm not going to say that it didn't happen that way either. Let's see. I'm going to try to find this video real quick. Here we go.
Don't care.
So we can talk if we want
You
to.
can leave it. You can go to jail.
I'm not going nowhere.
Investigation.
It doesn't matter. You're on our property. We did not call
You
you.
want to go to jail.
I'm not going anywhere.
Black
Lives Matter.
Turn around.
Black Lives Matter. I'm not resisting you. You're not touching me.
You're under arrest.
You fucked up, bro.
613, 10-3.
Black Lives Matter.
Come here.
Leave her alone. Hey! You cannot let her be on the rest. Come on now. Come on. Come on now. Come on, Izzy. Come
Get on the
on
fucking
now.
ground. Get on the ground right now. Taser, taser.
What you doing?
Turn over right now. Put your hands behind the back. Turn over. Turn over. Put your hands behind the back.
You finna get sued, sir.
Turn over. Put your hands behind the back. I will tase you again.
All right, so that's the basic gist. It goes on for a while, but it's a whole bunch of shouting and yelling, I'm sure. All right. Let's get caught up here. Bullshit libtard militants. Yeah. Not catching them all. Hold on. Well, day-old chicks can make it 2 to 3 days from hatching without food or water, but by the third day, they need it or die. They need it or die. That's a random comment, bro.
Well, he was saying that the post office is taking too long to deliver them.
Oh.
And over 400,000 baby chicks have died.
Wow, I'm sorry. I didn't scroll up. Sorry about that. Was that because I wasn't on live chat, Riddle?
Yes.
All right, I'm sorry. Lots of baby dead chicks coming in the mail to many delays in the shipping. That sucks, man. What's R1 LOL about?
Yeah, I don't know what I was laughing about, but apparently I was laughing and they heard it.
No. Oh, okay, you already forgot. Yeah, the news said over 400,000 dead chicks this year so far. My goodness. Chicken lives matter. Bullshit. The turn. Okay, is the air smoky in Arizona? I haven't noticed it. Not in Phoenix area. But I mean, Phoenix is usually not on fire. Some buildings sometimes, but not forest fires. You wouldn't have that here. It's more northern Arizona. It is in California, Utah, and Nevada. You know, the air is thick with smoke over here. You know, it'd be really great if they'd do some controlled burns. We know how to make it so that fires are, less likely to have these huge forest fires. But you have these environmentalists who don't want you to have controlled burns or deforest some of the area so that you have like cutoff spots where fires can't jump, right? And it pisses me off. Every friggin' year we have this stuff, and it could be avoided if we'd actually allow people to do what's necessary to make it avoidable. I don't know. Maybe you disagree with me on that. I'm not like a firefighter, so I couldn't tell you. They have a video posted. Yep.
That was in response to the Kadisha.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can find it on YouTube. I did real quick. It's there, but I don't know. You can't see the sun or the sky. Holy crap, bro. What part? Oh, I don't want to ask you where you're at, but damn. That's crazy. Didn't do nothing. Let me ask you a question. That's over 400,000 in this state alone. Damn. That's Maine, right? Yeah. California state senator fights for a bill that could alter sex offender registration for gay sex with minors. Lovely. California state senator is seeking to salvage a bill that could decriminalize gay sex between young adults and minors in some cases, arguing that present state laws governing the sex offender registry unfairly discriminates against the LGBT community. Really? You mean like you have special rights over than me, or all of our shit's the same? equality for all or equality for some. You're special, right? According to the San Francisco Chronicle, big surprise, California State Senator Scott Wiener, big surprise, is using the last few weeks of the legislative session to mobilize support for Senate Bill 145, a bill he introduced last year that stalled in a key committee. The legislation would allow judges discretion over sex offender registration in all cases involving voluntary intercourse between teenagers ages 14 to 17 who cannot legally consent and adults who are less than 10 years older. As the San Francisco Chronicle reported, if a man has vaginal, thank you, Riddle Girl, vaginal intercourse with an underage teenage girl, the judge can decide whether he should be placed on the sexual offender registry based on the facts of the case. But if anal or oral sex or vaginal penetration with anything other than a penis is involved, the adult must be registered as a sex offender, a relic of the penal code that criminalizes those acts until 1975, even between consenting adults. Yes, for a very long time, it was technically illegal to be sodomized or to do sodomy, all right? I know in Arizona when I was a kid, it was technically illegal to have sodomy relations with even your wife, right? I don't know if that's still on the books. I doubt it, but it could be. It makes no sense. It disappropriately impacts the LGBT people because LGBTQ people are far less likely to be engaging in penile vaginal intercourse, Wiener told the San Francisco Examiner. Wiener, who co-sponsored a 2017 bill that made knowingly exposing a partner to HIV no longer a felony. Wow, this guy's really great. So you can have HIV and just give it to everybody. You don't have to tell them nothing. It's not a felony. It's fine. You're just killing them. It's not a big deal. Claims his support for SB 145 has exposed him to danger. I've been the subject of death threats and personal attacks, threatening to decapitate me and send my head to my mother. Wiener said earlier this week during an online news conference, this kind of slander, not just against me, but against my community, is outrageous, and we have to speak out against it. He singled out QAnon. Oh my goodness, really? You guys they are so hung up on this whole Q shit. And I mean, most conservatives know that's bullshit. Anyway, he signaled out QAnon conspiracy theorists who believe he is attempting to legalize pedophilia. Maybe not with this technical, right here, 10 years older. Maybe you could say that he's not trying to legalize it, but it's definitely trying to get it pushing down that slippery slope, ain't it? Chad Felix Green, a conservative journalist who is gay, wow, that's okay, wrote The Federalist has become far too common. Opposing perceived right-wing attacks is more important than critically addressing dangerous legislation. Wow. Related. Watch a 9-year-old boy ask Buttigieg for advice on coming out as gay. 9 years old. Public schools, people. Public schools. They're teaching your children that it's okay to be whatever you want. You can be a rainbow unicorn. You can like boys. You can dress like girls. Look at Danielle the Amazing, or whatever that kid's name was, right? They're promoting this. We have a Netflix show called Cuties, where this girl who's 11 years old wants to rebel against her conservative parents and starts up a twerking dance crew.
I actually saw a screenshot of that, and it looks like it's a boy in a girl's outfit.
It's not. It's a girl. It's an 11-year-old girl who, 11-year-old girl probably hasn't hit puberty yet, and so therefore they don't have the things that make them look like girls. This is just another reason. And I know I disagree with R.G. Homestead, and we can disagree all day long, but get your kids out of the public schools. Whatever you do, they are indoctrinating your children on a regular basis, and they don't even have to tell you about it, right?
If you're worried about socialization, they have things called homeschool co-ops. You get together with other homeschoolers, and you do field trips and let them interact with each other. My sister-in-law homeschooled her kids, and they had homeschool co-ops. It's fine. They'll still get their socialization.
I think I'm going to start a GoFundMe to get Riddle Girl and Mike.
No.
You stir are talkative over here. She believes in it a lot too, so yeah. We should have done it. We didn't do it, and I regret it. Okay. Yeah, I know you're in Maine, Gerald B. I remember that. I was just reiterating. And you're in Maine, right? Kind of thing. What's the deal with Senator Gay Sex Bill? Yeah, that's what we just talked about. I'm sure that was an older one. That sounds crazy. The religion is screwing kids. You are a bad racist who would stop them. Yeah. I mean, you're definitely homophobic if you don't want them to having sex with kids underage, anally, right? Broken Patriot, they dropped the equality thing. Haven't seen a equality sticker on cars in years. Yeah, back in the 90s when they actually wanted equality and being able to marry themselves or whatever, that was an easy cause to get behind. The same thing was back in the 60s with black people. Oh, they wanted the right to vote. Well, I think they already had the right. They wanted the right to do stuff, right? Or vote in certain towns. Everybody saw, they didn't want to be segregated, right? Everybody saw that as a just thing. But now you have BLM saying they want reparations. They're going to go destroy buildings. People aren't going to get behind that, right? People aren't going to get behind you wanting to have underage sex with minors. Well, you wanting to have sex with underage minors. People aren't, normal people aren't. California might. I don't know. I've been surprised. It takes Senator Wieners prefers Wieners. Yeah, most likely. It's public training. They're not public. They are privately run by the UN through treaty. Schools? Maybe. Not public education. Now the teachers are worried that parents are going to see what they are teaching the kids. Yeah. I don't know, man. If I had it to do it over again, if I become a foster parent or I adopt a child or we actually have a kid, I'm not doing it, man. You gotta get them out of the indoctrination stations. Oh, here we have the update to this story. Apparently, Lori Loughlin, I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name. Loughlin. Lori Loughlin of Full House. They were saying that they were not guilty. They were going to fight it, but apparently they have made a plea deal. Fashion designer Massimo, whatever his name is, was... Huh?
Massimo Giuliani.
Okay. You want a mic?
No.
Was sentenced Friday to 5 months behind bars for paying $500,000 in bribes to get his two daughters in the University of Southern California as rowing recruits. 5 months. 5 months. That's what this guy gets. I want to know how much I would have got. I deeply regret that the harm of my actions have caused my daughters, my wife, and others, that person said in a short statement during the hearing, showing little emotion. I take full responsibility for my conduct. I am ready to accept the consequences and move forward with the lessons I have learned from this experience. His wife, Full House star Lori Loughlin, is expected to be sentenced later Friday after pleading guilty under the deal with prosecutors that calls for her to serve 2 months in prison. Oh, and they're not going to serve in the normal prison, right? They're going to have their special area prison. In accepting Giuliani's, Giuliani's plea deal, the U.S. District Judge Nathaniel Gordon said the 5-month prison sentence stipulated is sufficient, but not greater than necessary punishment under the circumstances. You are not stealing bread to feed your family. You have no excuse for your crime, and that makes it all the more blameworthy, the judge told Giuliani before officially sentencing him. Giuliani was ordered to surrender November 19th, so he's already in jail. Under the plea deal, Giuliani will also pay $250,000 fine and perform 250 hours of community service, which I'm sure he's not going to have to do like the community service we all have to do if we have to do community service. When I was a kid, I had to do community service. It was picking up trash off the side of the highway. That ain't no fun. I bet you he's not going to be doing that. Loughlin calls for her to pay a $150,000 fine and perform 100 hours of community service, unlike most plea agreements, which the judge remains free to decide if the defendant's sentence. Laughlin and Jelani's proposed prison terms were binding if accepted. Famous couple's sentencing comes 3 months after they reversed course and admitted to participating in the college admissions cheating scheme that has laid bare the lengths to which some wealthy parents will go to get their kids into elite universities. Yeah, what parents will do. The disrespect of right and wrong deserves a meaningful sentence and imprisonment, she said. There you go. I have typed this 6 times now. They won't let it get through. That's also a lane with Islam. They make it legal to rape little boys. Sharia law kind of stuff. Yeah. Referring to the previous article. All right. Yeah, I figured that much, but yeah, okay. Let's go up. You have a message redacted. California is chock full of pedos, right? We got that. Now teachers are worried. Okay, I've caught up. I'm going that way anyway. Look for the story about the kid that had the school call the police because they seen a BB gun on his wall. Oh yeah, I saw that article. Riddle, if you want to bring that up for me, I'll cover that one. That was hilarious. Okay, so really briefly, while Riddle Girl looks it up, this is how I understand this story to go. The kid is at home doing school online because everybody's shut down because of the Rona, right? So he's on his computer in his bedroom and he has a gun, supposedly gun, on his back wall. The teacher freaks out and calls the police. The police have to come. They search the house for weapons. It's apparently a BB gun, right? However, but they're now saying that the kid is guilty of some sort of real bullshit law because he technically brought a weapon to school, is their claim, right? Because now, since they're not meeting in school and this is an online school and everybody's there, his room is now the classroom, and therefore him having a BB gun is him basically bringing that to school. Some bullshit. That's crazy. I have typed this 6 times. Now they won't let it. That's also a lane with Islam. They make it legal to rape little boys. I don't know who Elaine's is, but aligns. Okay, that also aligns with Islam. They make it legal. Yeah, I thought they stoned gay people in Islam, or is that just one of those things that like, yeah, you know, that's not technically gay if you don't kiss it. I don't know. Yep, they do. That's what was the crime? If the USC, a private school, wants to take bribes, let them. Yeah, I guess it's just sad. Right? Different laws for different people. Why was this a crime? If the USC is a private school who wants to take bribes, let them. Oh, that's HDP, sorry. My community service was painting curbs. Oh, man. I worked at the kennel for mine. Oh, man. Y'all a bunch of jailbirds. Nice. Because it violates the UN law. Oh, the school thing? Yeah, probably, huh? So there's the link. Let me click on that. Hold on. And then sounds like libtard commie teacher. Well, apparently it's the UN thing now. So there's that. I felt violated. Oh, police search Baltimore County's country house over BB gun in virtual class. He also has a few other things here. It looks like a compound bow, a couple other stuff. A Baltimore County family is warning other parents after they say police were called to their house over something that happened during a virtual school lesson. The incident is raising concerns over privacy and safety in the era of online learning. As a Navy veteran with 4 years of active duty, Courtney Lancaster has extensive knowledge of guns and how to use them and how to store them. Her 11-year-old son, who owns a BB gun, is a Boy Scout in the 5th grade at that school. He is just a very intellectual child, but he is all boy as well. He loves to be outside and play and ride his bikes and that sort of thing, Courtney told Project Baltimore. In his pursuit to becoming an Eagle Scout, Courtney says her son has learned how to shoot a BB gun, an airsoft gun, and he's also taken 3 levels of archery lessons. His mother says he stores his bow and guns on his wall in his bedroom. It's never been a problem until June 1st when police pulled up outside her house. I had no idea what to think. I've never been in any legal trouble whatsoever. I've never had any negative encounter with law enforcement. Talk about white fucking privilege. I had no idea. I really don't know what to think. Courtney says she was at home with her son who has been doing virtual learning since school shut down in March. So I answered the door. The police officer was very nice. He explained to me that he was coming to address an issue with my son's school. Courtney told Project Baltimore and then explained to me that he was there to search for weapons in my home. Well, it is Maryland. And I consented to let him in. Oh, my goodness. And I consented to let him in. And you're an Army? Or was it Navy? Who was it? Navy veteran. She's Navy. And you just consented to let him in. And then I unfortunately stood there and watched police officers enter my 11-year-old son's bedroom. Courtney was told someone had seen guns in her son's bedroom during a Google Meet class in his laptop. I thought this was outrageous. This is despicable, she said. I had no idea what in the world could this be over? BB guns never even once entered my mind. How many 11-year-old boys have BB guns? Well, probably about 50%. I would imagine plenty of liberal boys don't have them. According to emails Courtney later exchanged with the school administrator, a screenshot was taken during the online class. The principal of the Seneca Elementary was notified. Courtney said she was told the school safety officer then called the police. I felt violated as a parent for my child who was standing there with police officers in the room just to see fear on his face, she said. Courtney says the police officers were in her home for about 20 minutes and found no violations, no laws were broken, and no dangers present. They left without any further action, but Courtney wasn't done. Since that day, she has written to school administrators, the superintendent, and the school board demanding answers. She says the principal initially compared bringing a weapon to a virtual class to bringing a gun to school. That's what I was talking about, right? Because it says school safety officer contacted police because the weapon was not secured. She was also told she could not see the screenshot of her son's bedroom because it was part of his student record. Wow. It's absolutely scary to think about, Courtney said. Who are on these calls? Who do we have viewing our children and subconsciously taking these screenshots that can be sent anywhere or used for any purpose? There you go. Project Baltimore reached out to Baltimore County School requesting an interview. We received this statement. Our long-standing policy is to not debate individual circumstances through the media. There are multiple ways for families to share concerns with us. In general terms, the safety of students and staff is our chief concern, whether we are meeting in the classroom or via continuity of learning. Bring weapons to school just as he could not bring weapons to virtual meetings. Courtney says she understands the safety concerns, but no one called her first before involving the police. They just straight up called the cops. Now she worries about the future of virtual learning without clear policies in place. So what are the parameters? Where are the lines drawn? If my son is sitting at the kitchen island next to a butcher block, does that constitute a weapon? It's not allowed at school, right? So would my home then be searched because he's sitting next to a butcher block, Courtney said. I feel like parents need to be made aware of what the implications are and what the expectations are. You need to be aware of the indoctrination of your children. For sure. Oh my goodness. All right. All right. Let me catch up a little bit. Not a bow. Nice. All right. Is USC private? Don't know about that. UN schools claim ownership over your kids. Really? Quasar, this is not rocket science, not a bow like Rambo. I had a real gun when I was his age. Yeah, I was starting to shoot 22s by that time, but I didn't have one of my own. But I would take my parents' ones out by myself, out to the wash. Kid had a nice setup. He did, man. Nice setup indeed. I wish his mother knew the Constitution and the whole, need a warrant kind of thing. Hello, I just got on. What's up, Mr. Tommy Boy? How you doing? I shot my first gun at 4. Nice. BP, what's horse shit? A marksman single shot and a ball bearing is way more dangerous than a BB gun. You can't do anything nowadays without some crap like this. Tell me about it, man. One of my coworkers has 2 daughters that will be attending public school online. She was describing how she and her husband set up a cubicle where the girls may work from to protect privacy. Put the kids in the gun and reloading room. There you go. Nice. Dude, like if that was me, yeah. I got a few, right? I got a few. I put up some really scary ones too. Broken Patriot, so glad I was before and all this crap. My childhood was fun. Yeah. Back in the day when I was growing up here in Arizona, like when I was in Maricopa, let's say all the way up until I was about 15, especially out in the country, it was about 50-50 of people that would open carry, right? 50% of the people in Arizona would open carry. You'd see it all the time. All the time. You still see it once in a while, but it's definitely not 50%. It's more like 2, maybe 1, right? Very few. But every once in a while you'll see it. It's not like it was. It's just the mindset of, we're a dying breed, man. 10, 20 years from now, it'll be less than that even. So Diamond and Silk got fired from Fox. Some of you might know that. But apparently they're now saying that it's because of systematic racism, which I find funny. We are going to watch the Amazing Lucas story on this, because I do have the story here, right? But it's not as funny as Lucas talking about it, and I can't make it that funny, so we're going to listen to him talking about it a little bit. But also, President Trump has been calling Fox fake news of recent. It's kind of funny, because all of a sudden, now that we're getting closer to the election, Fox News, a business for profit, is trying to hedge their bets, right? So if Biden wins, they don't want to be like, aha, rah, rah, Trump all the time. They want to be like somewhat, supportive of Biden. Oh, Obama, Michelle Obama's speech was great. It was like her best speech ever. She was really eloquent, right? So they're building up the Democrats a little bit throughout the whole Democratic nomination process, right? And I guess that's pissing off Trump. In fact, I saw a clip where Cavuto was saying that to Trump that we don't work for you, we're the news or whatever. But the thing is I think they're hedging their bets. I really do. I think if Joe wins, then they can still, hey, we had your back. We said all these nice things about you. Please don't close us out. And if Trump wins, they'll go back on the Trump train for a while. But they did the same thing. If you remember back in 2016, there was a lot of stuff on Fox News pro-Hillary, right? And anti-Trump, especially before Trump got the nomination. Oh my goodness, they were all anti-Trump then. But once he got the nomination, they started coming in line a little bit. But not until he actually won the election did they fully support him, supposedly. And now that they're backing off of it a little bit, he's calling them fake news, which I find hilarious. Let's see. 407 for rent. If that was my kid, they would have sent the SWAT team to your house. Whew. Yeah. When I see turkeys, people selling everything for gold because the lira taking a shit, I bought more gold. You bought more gold. Why do I not surprised? Dude, you need to make a video of your gold. I'm starting to call bullshit, man. But I mean, congratulations if you ain't lying. My truck in high school had a gun rack and a 12-gauge shotgun on it. Nice. You went to a better high school than I did. Fox News has always been fake news. I know that. I'm just saying it's kind of funny that now, that they're reporting against Trump that he's calling it that. I mean, they're owned by 1 to 6. They're all for profit, right? It's the same thing with any other news corporation. They're going to do whatever they need to do for money. That's why I'm here. My wife is brainwashed listening to Oh, dude, your wife watches CNN? Oh my goodness, I couldn't even do that. I mean, I can barely watch Fox for Hannity, and then I couldn't do it. Could not do that. All right, here we go.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Diamond and Silk have been fired. And you guys know Diamond and Silk. You guys remember Diamond and Silk, the 2 damn clowns who keep upholding the racial stereotype of black women, right?
Mm-hmm, girl. Okay, girl. You know what I'm saying, girl? Mm-hmm.
Those 2 clowns, damn near chucking and jiving. You just... Anyways, like I said, they've been fired. I'm surprised they were even hired to begin with. The fact that you would uphold these two clowns who make black women look really bad, I would say it's racist to begin with. But that's a different conversation. And the reason that they get fired is because they were promoting conspiracy theories. Like, you know, saying that the numbers of COVID deaths were inflated to hurt Trump. Certain things like 5G being not good for your body. Asking other questions like, hey, was this virus, was it possibly deliberate? You know, certain things like that, which is, I mean, if you look into the data and actually do some research and go down that rabbit hole, you can come to your own conclusions. Because the Daily Beast did an article on them, really a hit piece, talking.
So real quick here, got a new follower on DLive, Emmanuel04, just followed. Thank you very much for the follow, bro. My Restream bot is not working, so it might, you know, I didn't see that comment right away, but I do appreciate for the follow, man. I hope you enjoy the show. Although we're almost done for tonight, but I do this every weekday night at 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which was about an hour and a half ago.
About, oh, why are they saying these conspiracy theories, this and yada, yada, yada. Sure enough, they get the yeet. Now, here's the thing. Diamond and Silk say, hey, they were never told. They were never told anything about this. They were never given any reprimands, right? They weren't told to, hey, stop saying that. You need to switch it up. They weren't given anything. In fact, they were told, don't even worry about it. That you should ignore it. That, hey, we love you guys. You keep up the fight. Keep up the fight. Don't even worry about it. Well, sure enough, they get the yeet from Fox News, aka fake news. Now, don't get upset at me. I didn't call it fake news. Trump called it fake news.
What you hear, look at all of them up there. Scott, look at all of that fake news. It's unbelievable. Unfortunately, Fox has become fake news too.
Just because they don't agree with
people,
Trump,
right?
that makes them fake news.
At least the other side, you know where they're coming from.
So after this, they come out with this book. Diamond and Silk come out with the book. And they say in the book that, hey, Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, they all asked the same questions that we did.
Yes,
all right?
they do.
And nothing happened to them. Could this possibly be the systemic racism that everyone's talking about? No. I don't know about you. But bon appetit. Bruh, this is the funniest thing I've heard in my life. Okay? You mean you get fired?
All right, so that's pretty much it, and the rest of it is him talking about what he just talked about. All right, let me catch up in the YouTube chat. Let's see. Get a divorce. Referencing to Mr. Tommy Boy 9. Yeah. I mean, if it worked for you, man, you do you. I don't think I could do it, but God bless you. Thought criminals, bad. We had a talk once, LOL. You had a talk once? Oh, wait. Sorry, I missed it. My heart doctor changes the TV station before I had my appointment. We had a talk once. Nice. So your doctor's a Democrat? I know mine is. Like, my heart doctor is definitely a Democrat. I was telling her I was thinking about going back to school up in Prescott, and altitude is bad for my condition, right? And she's like, why do you want to go back to school? Just curiosity. I was like, oh, I want to be a gunsmith maybe, right? She's like, oh, well, I mean, you guess you're in the right state for it. I'm like, mm-hmm. And she's a big mask supporter. Yeah, big time. And I don't want to argue with her, so I'm just like, whatever. I only see her very briefly, usually. All right. Thought criminals put your Scarlet Conspiracy Theory letter on. There you go. 1 a.m. Eastern Time. Is that when I start for you there, Gerald B? Thank you for staying up late for me then. Every time I go to my regular doctor, they have it on HGTV. Oh, I know, right? I like that. That's what we have here. And I get addicted to it. Like, I get out of the office. I'm there for like 15 minutes and I'm just like invested into this home flip that they're doing. And as soon as I get home, I'm like, damn, I wish I had cable. And so I'll go on my APKs and I'll try to watch, but then it buffers and I get all mad. I'm like, fuck it. And that's it. And I'm done with it. But today I went for a mammogram. They had a place set up like a spa. Really nice. Chandler, soft music, flowers, pink lights. To get you all in the mood for your mammogram. Yes. He asked me why my blood pressure was up. I said, you have on CNN. That's a good answer, bro. That's a... All right, let me catch up in the YouTube chat. Thought criminals put your Scarlet Conspiracy Theory letter on. There you go. 1 a.m. Eastern Time. Is that when I start for you there, Gerald B? Thank you for staying up late for me then. Every time I go to my regular doctor, they have it on HGTV. Oh, I know, right? I like that. That's what we have here. And I get addicted to it. Like, I get out of the office. I'm there for like 15 minutes and I'm just like invested into this home flip that they're doing. And as soon as I get home, I'm like, damn, I wish I had cable. And so I'll go on my APKs and I'll try to watch, but then it buffers and I get all mad. I'm like, fuck it. And that's it. And I'm done with it. But today I went for a mammogram. They had a place set up like a spa. Really nice. Chandler, soft music, flowers, pink lights. To get you all in the mood for your mammogram. Wow. Doctors' offices, waiting rooms, mask mandates, freedoms being taken away, people not standing up as they're being carted away, people willingly giving them up, right? People burying their heads in the sand willingly, knowing that it's not the right way, right? They know in their heart of hearts things are a certain way, but they choose not to accept it. They choose to deny it. They choose to go with the narrative because it's the easier route. They don't have to deal with it. It's already packaged up in a nice little bow, and they don't have to sweat it. Because if they actually had to do their own work, that scares them. If they actually had to realize what's actually going on, that would frighten them. And they don't want to be frightened. They want to be in their little lane, all happy and cozy and pleasant. That's exactly what they want. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got for you on this Good Friday evening, although it's not Good Friday. Hold on one second. My links are kind of not working right now. There we go. Nope, that's not it either. Anyway, there are descriptions there's descriptions below. I have links in those descriptions below. If you want to go check those out, I would definitely encourage you to do so, as there's some good stuff in there, right? I have what do I call it? Adam Lawson's Blessed. Sorry for the delay. I couldn't find my page. Adam Lawson's Blessed is the song and the video that plays before I come on live. If you enjoy that, please go check out his channel and subscribe to him. The causes I believe in and support are next. It's Justice for Cannon. He was the 5-year-old boy who was shot in the back of the head while riding his bike in his front yard with his sisters. And they have a GoFundMe page set up for him. And it's doing really well, but it can always do a little bit better. There's a petition to arrest officers Jeff Cook and John Ferragamo here in Phoenix for the straight-up murder of Ryan Whitaker. There's the change.org petition for that. And there's also a GoFundMe for his family, since he was the major breadwinner, and they could definitely use some donations if you're looking to support something. Next is, if you want to follow that and you want to know the news of that story, check them out on Facebook, Justice for Ryan Whitaker. Also, you can help find our missing in action by supporting projectrecover.org. That's an organization that goes out and actively searches for our lost service members and brings their remains back to their families. It's a really good organization. And lastly, Rally Point Irish is my good friend Irish USMC Vets GoFundMe page, where he's trying to set up a piece of land in Tennessee where veterans can come rent and room and board free while they learn a new skill like gardening, blacksmithing, gunsmithing, things like that. Now, if you want to support my content, you can do the super chats, but if you don't like to do that, there's Bitcoin wallet. There's my Bitcoin wallet. There's a coupon for $10 free of Bitcoin if you sign up with that link. You can also donate at Bitcoin Cash, Erethreum Classic, Basic Attention Token, and PayPal. Okay. There's other places you can follow me. You can follow me on BitChute, DLive, Parler, YouTube, if you're watching me on DLive, and Facebook and Twitter. Facebook and Twitter are Riddle Girl, because I've been banned from Twitter forever, apparently, for posting a link to my video here, which I don't understand how they even do. Whatever. I'm fighting it, but we'll see what happens with that, right? And Facebook, I just haven't really been on a lot. I mean, I'm on there with Messenger with a couple of my friends and stuff, and I do have a page you can follow, but rarely am I ever on there. Let's see. Broken Patriot. Oh, wait. Facebook won't let you sell live farm animals anymore. I didn't know they allowed it in the first place, but that's sad that they don't now. I can't wait till Wednesday because you get your internet. Yeah. Take care. Never know when this boiling pot of frogs is going to boil over. Stay fresh. Yeah, I'm trying to stay fresh, boy. You know. Oh, free-ish. Okay. Wednesday, Internet Day. Yeah. Quasar trying. Yes, his donation went to my gold purchases. Nice. A friend of mine told me that today he has 17 pigs he has raised. Only wanted to keep 3 for him. So for himself. So tried to list them, and they said no. Google takes 30%. Yeah, I know. Takes 30%. That's messed up. I didn't know that. Like, what part of Google? Because, like, I don't know. I haven't checked. They don't really tell me. They don't break it down, I think, per super chat, right? I just get a check and, you know, here you go. Here's the money that, you know, you supposedly made. So, yeah, I don't know. If they actually, I haven't done the research on that. So if they take 30%, yeah, I definitely suggest if you really want to support the channel, do the other things. I get the super chats, though. The super chats are fun. I mean, I've done a super chat here and there for people, too, you know. Because, you know, it's fun. Especially with somebody who's got a lot of chat going on, right? And some days I've had that where I couldn't even keep up, and super chats are a little bit easier to catch because they're different colors, stuff like that. And you feel more obligated because somebody took money out of their hard-earned living, you know, and donated it to you. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, or follow if you're on DLive. If you like the content, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the content, give it a thumbs down. If you really want to know when I go live or drop a video, don't forget to hit the notification bell or whatever, you know, thing you have to hit on DLive or BitChute. Anyway, I do go live every weekday night at 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Let's see. Ohio Wolverines here. What's up, Ohio? I'd rather send you $50 bill in the mail. Well, I appreciate your $50 super chat. And there's PayPal. You can do as a friends and family thing, and that doesn't take a fee, right, Riddle?
Yep.
There you go. PayPal is the best way to do it without sending cash in the mail, and I don't have a P.O. box set up. I mean, I can probably do that at some point. Ohio Wolverine, they can't stay. Just seeing that you were live, stopping by, say hello, thumbs up button, stay frosty, keep safe, thank you. Ohio. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I will see you later. Until then, make sure to keep your family close, watch out for the government, and try to live as free as you possibly can. And remember, freedom is up here, so drive without a seatbelt, ride a motorcycle without a helmet. Live frickin' free, man. And until Monday, I will check you out later. Peace.